New John Deere tractor sales down 8.8% in the first quarter of 2026. Used late-model John Deere prices up 12.5% in the same period. That is not a coincidence. That is a decision. Made by thousands of operators across the Corn Belt simultaneously, without a meeting, without an organization, without anyone telling them to do it. They just did the math. And the math told them the old tractor in the shed is worth more than the new one on the lot. Not because the old tractor is better on a spec sheet. It is not. The new machine has more horsepower, better guidance, more technology built into every system. But technology is not the same thing as value. And in 2026, those two words are pointing in opposite directions on a John Deere purchase order. This is Farm Gear Pro. Today we are going through exactly why farmers are keeping old John Deere tractors alive in 2026. The real reasons, with real dollar figures, not sentiment, not nostalgia, arithmetic. Stay with this, because the fifth reason on this list is the one John Deere's board does not want discussed at a dealer meeting. Reason 1. The old tractor does not have a software wall between the operator and the repair. A 1997 John Deere 8R series, a 2003 7810, a 2008 9024. Pick any pre-2015 vintage machine in decent mechanical condition. An independent mechanic with a service manual and a standard diagnostic tool can work on every system. Every fault, every calibration, every component replacement. No dealer laptop required. No manufacturer authorization required. No dispatch call to a regional service center that may or may not have an opening this week. The Federal Trade Commission filed a formal antitrust lawsuit against John Deere in January 2025. Section 2 of the Sherman Act. A federal judge refused to dismiss it in June 2025. A $99 million class action settlement landed in April 2026. John Deere committing to expanded diagnostic access on current machines by end of 2026, $99 million. To settle a lawsuit about a farmer's right to fix his own tractor. The farmer, running a 2003 John Deere, never needed that settlement. The lock was never on his machine. The permission was never required. The dealer laptop was never in the equation. That is what the premium on older pre-software John Deere iron is actually pricing in, not the machine's age, the freedom that came with it. Reason 2. The old tractor does not have a DEF system, a diesel particulate filter, or a selective catalytic reduction catalyst that fails at the worst possible moment. Pre-2011 John Deere equipment runs Tier 2 or Tier 3 emissions architecture. No DEF fluid required, no DPF region cycle interrupting field operations, no SCR catalyst sitting in the exhaust system waiting to generate a $4,000 to $9,000 repair invoice on a machine that is mechanically fine. D-fluid cost on a current generation John Deere 8R running 700 hours per season, $800 to $1,400 annually. Just for the fluid, before a single component failure is factored in. The old tractor owner does not write that check. Not this year, not next year, not ever. SCR catalyst replacement on a current generation John Deere at an authorized dealer, $4,000 to $9,000 per event. On an out-of-warranty machine, at dealer labor rates, arrived without warning, during a season where that money had somewhere else to be. The farmer running the 2005 John Deere has never written that check either. He put the emission system money into a rebuilt injection pump and a new set of injectors and still came out ahead. Reason 3. The old tractor's parts are available from multiple suppliers at competitive prices. A John Deere PowerTech engine from the late 1990s and early 2000s. One of the most widely produced agricultural diesel engines in American history, running in enough machines across enough years that multiple serious aftermarket suppliers built complete parts programs around it. Engine overhaul kits, injection pump rebuild components, hydraulic pump seals, transmission wear items, all of it available from multiple competitive sources. No manufacturer-controlled counter required, no dealer markup on a part that the aftermarket has been supplying competitively for 20 years. A complete top-end engine overhaul on a late 90s John Deere PowerTech using quality aftermarket components. $4,500 to $7,500 in parts, independent shop labor on top of that. $60 to $90 per hour, not $150 to $185. Total engine overhaul event, $7,000 to $11,500, on a machine that comes out of it with another 4,000 to 6,000 hours of productive service life. Run that against the annual subscription cost, the DEF system exposure, and the dealer-only diagnostic labor on a current machine. The math is uncomfortable for anyone trying to sell you a new tractor in 2026. Before we go further, if this is the kind of straight equipment analysis you have been looking for, hit subscribe right now. No sponsorships, no manufacturer money, just the numbers. Back to it. Reason 4. The old tractor's depreciation curve is already finished. A 2005 John Deere 8110 at 6,000 to 8,000 hours, bought for $35,000 to $55,000 in 2026. That machine has already gone through every stage of depreciation it is ever going to go through. The market floor on a well-maintained pre-software John Deere in this age and hour range is established. Stable. Not going anywhere dramatically in either direction. A new 2026 John Deere 8R410 at the dealer. North of $450,000 first 3 years of ownership, 25 to 35% depreciation through normal use cycles. That is $112,000 to $157,000 in lost asset value before the machine has paid for itself through productive fieldwork, on a 3,000-acre operation. That depreciation spread across the acres worked in year 1. $37 to $52 per acre in asset value evaporating before a bushel of corn comes off the field. The old tractor does not do that. The floor is already set. Buy it at $45,000, sell it in 5 years for $35,000 to $42,000. $10,000 depreciation event across a 5-year ownership cycle, against $112,000 to $157,000 on the new machine across the same period. That gap funds a lot of rebuilt injection pumps, a lot of independent shop labor, a lot of aftermarket parts at competitive prices, and it still leaves money in the operation. Reason 5. This is the one John Deere's board does not want discussed at a dealer meeting. The old tractor does not require an annual software subscription to function at the level it was sold to function at. John Deere CEO John May has publicly stated he expects software to represent 10% of company revenue by 2030. Industry analysts estimate software gross margins at approximately 85%. Equipment gross margins at approximately 25%. The tractor is the low-margin product. The annual fee on top of the tractor is the real business. A current generation John Deere 8R with full Operation Center Pro service access. Annual subscription cost on top of the purchase price, on top of the DEF fluid cost, on top of the dealer-only diagnostic labor, on top of the depreciation. Every one of those costs arrives every year. Every one of them was absent from the January financing conversation. And every one of them is absent from the ownership economics of the farmer running the 2005 John Deere in his shed. He pays for parts. He pays for labor at independent shop rates. He pays for fuel. He does not pay for permission. That is the word that keeps coming up in every conversation about why farmers are keeping old iron alive. Permission. The farmer who owns a pre-software John Deere does not ask anyone for permission to fix his own machine. He does not call a dealer dispatch line for a code that requires a licensed laptop to clear. He does not wait on a service appointment while a planting window closes around him. He does not write a check to a software platform for access to a machine he bought outright. He calls his mechanic. The mechanic comes. The machine gets fixed. The field gets planted. That is the ownership model that built John Deere's brand across 187 years of American agriculture, and it is the ownership model that John Deere's current corporate strategy has been systematically dismantling since approximately 2015. Now the auction data that confirms everything above. Pre-software John Deere tractors from the 90s and early 2000s are trading at premiums at Ritchie Brothers, Big Iron, Sullivan Auctioneers, and Steffi's Group in 2026 that would have been implausible 5 years ago. Buyers are bidding each other up. For machines with high hours, for machines that are 20 and 25 years old, for machines that have no GPS, no telematics, no connected platform, no subscription requirement. They are paying more for the absence of those features than they would pay for the presence of them on a new machine. Read that again. The market is valuing the absence of John Deere's modern technology additions more than it is valuing the presence of them. That is the harshest possible signal a market can send to a manufacturer. It is the market saying the things you added since 2015 made the product worse, not better, worse. And we will pay a premium to avoid them. Now the 5-year model for the operator choosing between old iron and new iron in 2026. Old iron path. 2005, John Deere, 8110 at $45,000. 5-year note if financed at current rates. Roughly $10,000 annual debt service. Annual maintenance $8,000 to $14,000, including a realistic contingency for age-related events. Independent shop labor at $60 to $90 per hour. Zero def cost, zero subscription cost, zero dealer-only diagnostic exposure. Projected trade-in in 5 years between $32,000 and $42,000, based on current auction trajectory on this vintage. New iron path. 2026 John Deere 8 R410 at $455,000. 5-year note at current agricultural lending rates between 7.5 and 8.5%. Roughly $90,000 to $102,000 annual debt service. Annual maintenance on a new machine lower in early years, but with DEF system exposure and subscription costs on top. Dealer-only diagnostic labor exposure across the ownership cycle. Projected trade-in in 5 years in the $280,000 to $310,000 range based on current auction softening trend on late-model green units. Run those two models side by side with your own operations numbers, your acres, your financing rate, your relationship with an independent mechanic, your regional auction market for both vintages. The answer is specific to your operation, but the framework is the same for everyone. Old iron wins on depreciation, on repair freedom, on annual operating cost structure, on the absence of a subscription layer sitting on top of the ownership cost every year. New iron wins on horsepower headroom, on factory precision agriculture integration, on warranty coverage, eliminating catastrophic repair risk in the early years, on dealer network proximity in counties where that proximity has a hard dollar value during a breakdown. The operator who knows which of those advantages matters most for their specific operation is the operator who makes the right decision. The operator who walks into the dealership without running the model is the one who finds out the hard way at year 3 when the invoice arrives and the warranty conversation has already changed. Drop a comment below. What year is your oldest John Deere that you are still running in active production right now? What is the one thing that keeps you from trading it? That answer from operators running the old iron is the most honest data point in American agriculture right now. And it belongs in this comment section. Thanks for watching Farm Gear Pro. If you found this breakdown valuable, share it with a fellow farmer and comment below your thoughts on this topic. See you in the next one.